Hello, 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 everybody. Go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for being here for our liquid lowdown on SEO in the age of AI, an ISP's playbook to keep showing up when search doesn't look like search anymore. Super excited to have you all here. We have professionals in a ton of different positions across the telecom industry, so really happy to help you all push your marketing efforts forward in the constantly changing digital landscape that we all share. Brief intro before I jump in. I'm Patrick Whitener. I lead the SEO team here at Liquid. We are a digital marketing agency aimed at helping motivated brands deliver smart, helpful, and honest marketing. We support multiple verticals, ISPs being one of them, including in more recent years supporting both digital and traditional efforts as our clients build out their fiber networks. As an SEO, I work closely with our ISP clients on organic visibility and subscriber growth, whether that's visibility through traditional search engines, AI summaries, or nowadays pretty much anywhere that potential subscribers look for answers. Lately, I have been deep in the weeds of AI search and what it means for SEO as we know it. And today we'll be talking about exactly that, or more specifically, once again, how ISPs can keep showing up when search doesn't look like search anymore. So, despite some of the headlines or LinkedIn posts you may have seen, SEO is in fact not dead, but it is having something of a midlife crisis. AI is here, and it is absolutely changing where people search, how they search, who gets seen. Subscribers aren't just typing in internet near me into Google anymore. They're asking AI tools things like which ISP is the fastest in St. Louis, what internet is best for working from home in my zip code. More complex things in various places. Traditional search engine results are shrinking. AI summaries and zero-click answers are rising. This all means that the old rules of SEO do not apply the same way that they used to, and that is fine. You just need to know how to keep playing the game. This is actually a really exciting time to be in SEO, if I do say so myself. LLMs are frankly looking like they may be even easier in some ways than traditional search results to influence, at least at the moment. There's also likely less competition, which makes a lot of potential upside for early adopters. All right, so what exactly are we going to be covering today? In a nutshell, how AI is reshaping ISP discovery, what AI-driven search results pages mean for ISP marketers, who wins and loses in AI answers, how ISPs should refocus SEO, and real results from ISPs that are already adapting the strategies that we're going to talk about today. All right, so the new search landscape. Search isn't just Google anymore. We don't all Google it, as they say, by reflex anymore. Sometimes we ask ChatGPT, meaning search isn't just Google anymore. So not long ago, searching basically meant typing words into Google. Today, the path of a search journey is much broader. We see users finding info in various places outside of traditional search results. This has largely been pushed by AI chat tools like ChatGPT, which have absolutely exploded in popularity. ChatGPT hit 100 million users faster than any app in history. And yet, even when we or our audiences do Google something, an AI overview or Google's AI mode often offers a better user experience than the traditional 10 blue links. That all said, Google is still huge, but they're not the only name in town. Users are searching wherever and however they can get the best answer the fastest, aka AI answers are changing the game. This is a new place our audiences are getting info. And of course, we want to be listed in their responses. Before we get too focused on ChatGPT, it should be mentioned that Google isn't just sitting idly by while all of this goes down. As I said, Google rolled out AI-generated answers in features like AI overviews and AI mode at the top of search results for many queries. So the search landscape is even, the AI search landscape rather, is still quite spread out. Results for many informational queries, something like how much internet speed do I need for working from home, will typically always have an AI overview at the top of Google search results. And while informational queries like that are the bulk of the ones that have AI answers showing in Google search results right now, I'm sure that that will continue to expand. Studies have shown that organic results see up to a 70% drop in click-through rate when an AI overview is present in the SERP. Paid ads are not spared either. Their click-through rate also takes a hit. Basically, if an AI answer solves your question, why click on any results? You're finished. You have completed the goal of your query. This has helped drive zero-click searches to record highs, with nearly 60% of all Google searches now ending without a click to any website. Both of those last two stats, 70% drop in organic click-through rates when AI overviews show, and 60% of searches now ending in 0 clicks, are staggering. They indicate the massive change that we are seeing in search. That said, it is not all doom and gloom. AI summaries are actually driving more searches overall. Google handled 5 trillion searches in 2024. That was about a 20% year-over-year increase. So people are clicking more. People are searching more. They're just not clicking as much, okay? As marketers, I think we can still work with that. After all, every relevant search is still an opportunity to make a valuable brand impression. So, all of this means, in my opinion, SEO's role has shifted for ISPs. I believe marketers should be slightly less focused on clicks and instead reprioritize some of that attention to brand visibility and conversion optimization. If users see your brand in an AI summary, don't click, but later search your name and convert, that's still a win for SEO. The job is now to make sure the right impression sticks, whether it leads to an immediate visit or a delayed conversion. In practice, this is going to look like SEO now overlapping with PR and brand strategy. So LLMs are trained on the open web to get people talking about you in more of the data that LLMs are being trained on. For ISPs specifically, AI answers often cite websites like Broadband Now, FCC Maps, CNET, plan and pricing pages on ISPs' own sites. Having positive and accurate info about your brand on these platforms is going to get fed through to these LLMs, and it's going to be regurgitated in answers to your target audiences. To be clear, if you are not in the training data, you will not be in the results. We're going to touch on this more in some later slides, but very important to remember. Okay, so based on all of this, let's look at who is winning and who is losing so far, starting with who's making out. Some of the types of websites and content that have been benefiting from the changes in search. Transparent, expert content. This means clear plan and pricing pages, FAQs about install timelines, real coverage maps. These types of things should be covered clearly and prominently so that they can feed that positive and accurate info to the LLMs that are being trained on the open web. The content on your own website is a great way to influence these large language models. In that same vein, well-structured, scannable pages that are easy to quote for people and LLMs. So content that meets this criteria is going to be more likely to be featured in an AI overview, more likely to be used in the training data for LLMs, and more likely to be shared on social media, which of course boosts organic visibility. LLMs and Google are now even crawling social media sites like Instagram, like Reddit. So those are other places you can, again, be in the training data. Okay, ISPs that people and AI search for and mention by name. Pretty self-explanatory. If your brand is being searched for directly, it doesn't matter if the result is shown in a traditional link or a chatbot answer. ISPs cited by name in reviews, awards, community news will also have an edge, since AI favors ISPs that are talked about often. Large language models often use statistical probability whenever they're compiling their answers, meaning that if a brand is talked about more often than another in relation to a specific topic, the one that is talked about more often has a higher likelihood of being mentioned in the LLM's response. And truly, all of these strategies are not brand new. These are things that we've been doing in SEO for a long time, just with some new twists on them, right? These have always been the right paths. Now it's just more undeniable than ever, since they're influencing an additional channel. All right, now who is struggling in the age of AI search? ISPs with hidden fees, promotional pricing, coverage in the fine print. These tactics may work in the short term, but they have the potential to harm you in the long term now more than ever. A bad review from an upset customer on Reddit can be cited for thousands of different prompts and AI answers. And we know that these LLMs are looking at that sort of content. They're looking at Reddit content, they're looking at Yelp reviews, and they're regurgitating that information in their answers. Many ISPs require users to submit a form to even have an idea of whether or not they provide service in the user's area. If you provide service in a city or zip code on any level, that should be on your website for users and bots to find. If you're not actively saying, we provide service in this specific area, then there's no way for an LLM to know that you do and be able to inform a potential subscriber of that. AI crawlers cannot see gated content. And then pages that offer nothing AI can't regurgitate faster. So generic blogs like what is Wi-Fi are not going to have the same impact anymore. Marketers need to be responsible for ensuring that AI answers have the right information about their brands, and ISPs need to do what they can to stop negative info from being in the training data. So, with all of this in mind, where to focus your efforts to make sure you're maximizing visibility in the new world of search? SEO strategies then versus now. Going from chasing rankings before the majority of SEO work was focused on earning rankings and clicks, to now also about showing up where clicks might never happen, right? AI summaries, review sites, Reddit threads, you want brand visibility everywhere. Again, SEO now overlaps with PR, so it's about influence and recognition, not just traffic. Say the things that you want AI to say about you yourself, and encourage others to do so via reviews and social platforms. AI will find it and regurgitate it. From focusing on traffic to focusing on brand impact. So if we are going to be focused on earning visibility, then we should also be tracking it. Impressions are now a much more valuable metric, arguably right up there with clicks. Also, because impressions are going to be a leading indicator before clicks and conversions, tracking them will be even more essential to show progress. From creating mass content to creating unique and memorable content. Like a lot of our recommendations around GEO, creating high quality, unique, and useful content has always been the best path. But now that AI can answer most basic questions, this is really the only way forward for impactful content marketing. Your blog is an opportunity to feed LLMs the exact information you want them to be able to feed back to your users about you. Instead of a blog about how Wi-Fi works, consider an article about your latest fiber build out and how it's going to affect internet speeds in a specific community, complete with real world data, things that AI could not fake, things that will positively influence customer sentiment and sentiment within LLMs. From generating backlinks, last one here on the fourth bullet now. So from generating backlinks to generating links and brand mentions. Touched on this a couple times earlier, but backlinks still matter. However, the value balance has shifted. Unlinked brand mentions, so just being mentioned in an article, is actually a stronger predictor of AI visibility than sheer backlink volume or domain authority. So for marketers, this means sparking conversations. Podcasts, digital PR, thought leadership pieces that get people and bots saying your name on the web. Google's traditional search algorithm utilizes links from other websites to yours to grade how trustworthy your site is. Backlinks, right? I'm sure most of the people here have heard of this. LLMs, as I mentioned before, use statistical probability. So you want to be talked about as much as possible by as many sources as possible. You can even take this a step further. Now we're getting into some specific strategies. You can document the websites that LLMs are frequently citing for prompts you would want to be cited for. So for example, I could ask ChatGPT something like, what are the best rural internet providers in Pennsylvania? Try a few variations of this prompt, take note on the sources that ChatGPT says that it's pulling from to give me the answer. Once I know which sites are showing up consistently, I can work on getting those same websites to talk positively about me, since I already know that ChatGPT is using those websites for its answers. That might mean something like paying to be added to a list on one of these websites, pitching stories to these websites, collaborating with a writer. There's a lot of different ways you could go about it, but the point is, if LLMs treat those sources as authoritative, then getting featured there can increase my chances of being surfaced in future AI answers. At Liquid, we have invested in tools that allow us to work that strategy at scale, but can absolutely be done manually as well. Okay, I know some of that was pretty broad. We're going to keep on with some more specific strategies, though. Your 5 priorities for SEO in 2025. Number 1, be where subscribers search. So if potential subscribers are comparing ISPs on Reddit, Nextdoor, or Broadband Now, you need to be visible there. They're watching YouTube reviews of modem setups or asking ChatGPT who has the fastest internet in X city. Your brand should be in those answers. Google is still huge, but ISP discovery happens across many touch points. SEO today means optimizing availability pages for AI answers, cultivating reviews on comparison sites, seeding subscriber proof across multiple platforms. This is not abandoning SEO. It's more like expanding the definition of it. Second, focus on high-value content. Of course, this is something that's been said for years. We've just kind of shifted our idea of what high-value content is in the new ecosystem. Again, AI can easily summarize generic content like what is Wi-Fi. To stand out, publish material that it cannot fake, neighborhood-level speed test results, transparent plan and fee breakdowns, information that only you have about yourself, the installation timelines or outage playbooks, real testimonials, and engineering Q&As will go much further than the boilerplate what is Wi-Fi blogs. If you can't beat AI at volume, which you cannot, you can still beat it at value. Third, structure everything for humans and machines. Of course, this is SEO. There is going to be just a bit of pandering to bots still, no matter how much we hate it and want to focus on the user. Make pages effortless to scan and quote. The great thing is this really is a two birds, one stone situation, as structuring content to be easily read and quoted by machines and humans is basically the same thing. So including things like clean tables, showing download and upload speeds, again, just clear fee breakdowns, contracts, data caps, schema markup for local businesses, services, offers, FAQ schema, service area schema, all this stuff so that your ISPs qualify for advanced features and search results. You don't need to follow a ton of fancy tricks that you find on LinkedIn. Just make your coverage, pricing, and support pages structured well and machine readable. All right, two more here. Track the right metrics. So traffic still matters, but subscriber actions are the true goals. Availability lookups, branded searches, connects, churn reduction. Pair all of those with leading indicators like impressions in AI answers, citations in local map packs, and brand mentions across the web. A subscriber may see your brand in AI summary, check Reddit a week later, and only then type your name into Google. Your job is to leave a lasting impression at every step of that scanner journey and do your best to track along the way. Lastly, building brand demand, giving both subscribers and AI models a reason to type and cite your name, push PR around fiber buildouts, generate local news mentions, apply for speed test awards, and cultivate consistent positive reviews. Every time your ISP is cited in an authoritative source, you are feeding training data that AI relies on. And in turn, boosting your chances of showing up when somebody asks, what's the best internet in my city? All right, let's look at what you can expect when you work on these focus areas. We helped one of our ISP clients lean into these strategies. Specifically, we shifted from high funnel, again, what is Wi-Fi type blog content, to more authority building and brand content. Talking about ourselves the way that we want AI to talk about us. Highlighting our positives, talking about community efforts, technology upgrades, brand building content. Then we optimized pages for AI overviews, for snippets, for branded queries. To do this, we made sure our content had clear heading structures, it was easy to skim, included the needed structured data. And finally, we optimized for branded queries, so we made sure that once a user does search for our client by name, they are dominating traditional search results, and there aren't a bunch of negative Reddit threads ranking to potentially disrupt the user journey, right? The results: improve visibility and sentiment in LLMs, more impressions, both branded and non-branded, more branded searches, more people searching for our ISP client by name, and higher conversion rate despite fewer clicks from non-branded searches. So as we went over in the stats earlier, 60% of new searches ending with no clicks can be okay if those clicks were going to be from super high funnel, non-branded searches like best internet provider in my area. It's okay if you're not ranking number one in traditional search results for those type of high level queries, as long as you're being mentioned in the AI overview, being mentioned positively on Reddit or review sites. Those are going to be positive impressions for your user, and then when they're ready to buy or dig deeper, they search for you by name. Make sure that your website comes up first when that happens, and that you are highly optimized for conversions. The bottom line of doing all that, a 46% quarter over quarter increase in revenue from this client that we can thank almost entirely to showing up positively in LLMs and AI overviews. So SEO isn't smaller, it's not dead, it's just spreading out. SEO today means influencing search wherever it happens. Every piece of content ranks and trains models. If you treat SEO as cross-channel visibility, not a one-channel game, you'll set yourself up for success in the new world of AI search. If you are wondering how your brand is showing up in AI answers or why it isn't, Liquid would love to help. We can run a GEO audit designed for ISPs. The GEO audit analyzes how often you're mentioned in AI answers, what those answers say about you, and what sources LLMs use when they mention you, and specifically what questions relevant audiences are asking LLMs. From there, we'll give you clear recommendations and actions to help you capture subscriber demand in this new landscape. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And here's to making sure your ISP is the one subscribers see first when they ask AI which provider to choose. All right, that does do it for our webinar. Again, thank you everybody for joining us.